Hi, and welcome to my creative walk through my home city of Manchester. Manchester is a city associated with enterprise and innovation, the world's first industrialised city, the birthplace of social reform, where the atom was first split, and the first modern computer was developed. It's often been said that the compact city of Manchester is big enough to matter, but small enough to care. The town hall's decision makers argue that Manchester is a genuine cultural counterbalance to London. Manchester's reputation as the rainy city was certainly upheld today of all days, so let's grab our umbrellas. My journey starts and finishes on the stage of the Manchester Apollo. The theatre, located in Ardwick on the edge of the city centre, is the subject of my MA project. A project which is a photo documentary recording 365 days in the life of the city's best-loved entertainment venue. From here, I travel north to my childhood hometown of Middleton. I'm here to try and understand the origins and influence of my own creative practice. Situated on the edge of the city, I lived here in the 1970s in a rather unextraordinary housing estate. My dad was a jazz musician who played banjo and sang in one of the UK's most successful trad jazz bands, sharing top billing with the likes of the Beatles and Stevie Wonder. Talented with the camera himself, he was a constant source of encouragement in my early years as a photographer. Moving across the city through areas of social deprivation, it can be argued that the population are perceived to have low aspirations will produce individuals with a dogged determination and a creative drive to succeed, and many of these people provide the creative public identity of the city. The Gallagher brothers, Ryan Giggs, Albert Finney, for example. Media City is without doubt Manchester's largest creative statement in recent history. Located at the regenerated Salford Quays, both of the UK's largest broadcast organisations, the BBC and ITV, have located much of their TV and radio production here. The Whitworth Art Gallery reopened in 2015 after a £15 million transformation. The gallery is home to some of the UK's finest collections of both modern and historic art, and recently hosted Andy Warhol's Artist's Room exhibition. The Whitworth is one of my favourite spaces for personal creative inspiration. Manchester's Theatreland is the most influential outside London. The two largest theatres, the Opera House and the Palace, regularly host West End productions. The Lowry Theatre at Salford Quays and the Royal Exchange Theatre collectively guarantee that the city is culturally well catered for. The Manchester music scene is legendary and a constant creative inspiration to me. The Smiths, Joy Division, the Stone Roses, Happy Mondays, Factory Records, the Hacienda, the Manchester scene of the 1980s, New Order and Oasis. Manchester can boast a music venue on nearly every street corner and is both culturally and creatively one of the city's strongest assets. Manchester's yellow Metrolink trams are a very visual part of the city's identity. They are extremely popular and link the city centre to its greater metropolitan area, providing free movement for a workforce and opportunities for business and creative industries to relocate away from the city centre. The Northern Quarter is the city's centre of alternative and bohemian culture and is incredibly popular for its numerous bars, cafes, lively music and comedy venues and clothes shops. Amongst these is Affleck's Palace, a bazaar for the alternative clothing. Over the last decade, the Northern Quarter has become synonymous with street art. The City Council openly encourages both local and international artists to display their talents. This is an area of Manchester I regularly visit, seeking creative inspiration. The Gay Village is one of the liveliest areas of the city. The village comes to life at night with the GLBT community flocking to the area, including visitors from all over the world. Most of the village bars and clubs are straight friendly, and the popularity in the area with heterosexuals underlines the welcoming, open-minded attitude of Mancunians. Totalling around 100,000, Manchester boasts the largest student population in Europe. Students are drawn to the city's vibrant nightlife and culture, and in this symbiotic relationship, Manchester benefits from a free-spirited, creatively outward-looking student population and a wider boost to the local economy. The Town Hall, although playing host to Father Christmas today, is of course home of the decision makers. The city's vision is for Manchester to become a true world city. To achieve this, it builds on its cultural and historical heritage and invests heavily in the arts and the creative sectors. The IRA bombing in 1996, which devastated the city centre, was one of Manchester's darkest hours. It did at least provide something of a blank canvas for the city planners and gave the Town Hall chiefs the impetus to change the face of the city forever. The City Council's creative vision is clearly underscored by its statement of intent centred on the planned new flagship cultural venue, Factory. Sir Richard Leese, leader of Manchester City Council, said, "Factory is going to change the lives as well as the cultural landscape, not just here in Manchester, but nationally and internationally." And so back to the Apollo at showtime. The Stones, Springsteen, Prince, Dylan, and the Beatles, they've all performed on this stage, leaving a lasting musical and cultural legacy, and providing me with the incredible creative inspiration for my project. Thank you all for watching.